John, you are a doctor at the Hunter Medical Research Institute at the University of Newcastle, Australia. Could you tell us something about your research, please?
Sure, we're really interested in reproductive science. So we're a large team of reproductive scientists here at the University of Newcastle, part of this Hunter Medical Research Institute Infertility and Reproduction Research Program. My specific area of interest is really understanding the composition and the function of the acellular component of the ejaculate. That's what we call seminal plasma. And we know it plays a really fundamental role, and it has a capacity to not only regulate sperm function, but also influence the female reproductive tract environment and support pregnancy.
Perfect. And you recently used QSM for your research. What are your findings?
So as part of our research interests, one of the areas that we've really been delving into is to gain a greater understanding of one of the key contributors to seminal plasma, and that is the seminal vesicles. That is the major contributor to seminal plasma in most mammalian species. And we've recently performed the first proteomic and transcriptomic analyses of seminal vesicle tissue. But how we came about Doppelganger was an amazing opportunity to collaborate and work with Doppelganger to take advantage of some of our proteomic analyses that we've been performing to understand the metabolic activity of seminal vesicle tissue. And we use this in a control sample as well as in a sample that had been treated with a reproductive toxicant called acrylamide. And what we observed was that, quite surprisingly, the metabolic activity of our seminal vesicle tissue following the acrylamide exposure is activated. We see greater metabolic activity in our tissue, and that really nicely links with the actual phenotype that we see in the tissue, where we're seeing the tissue produce more and more of this seminal plasma following this treatment. So it's a really nice piece of evidence that can add to our growing knowledge of the seminal vesicle.
Excellent, excellent. And what do you like most about QSM?
Well, I think it's something that is a novel technology that's really beginning to emerge. We often get big omic data sets and we look for our specific pathways or regions of interest, and we really focus on a very defined region. But using QSM, we've been able to take advantage of our already existing proteomic data, but gain this incredible increase in our knowledge of seminal vesicle function by looking at metabolic activity as well. I've already spoken about this with some of my colleagues, and they're all very excited about the opportunity to work with Doppelganger and start to use some of our own data sets in the reproductive science space to advance our knowledge on our variety of different reproductive tissues. Of course, this isn't just limited to the reproductive space. It would work in any biological context, and it's a really valuable tool that I think will continue to be used more and more in the coming years.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, John. Thanks for your time. Thanks for the interview.
No problems, Jan.